Hey guys, Sri Lanka Sammy here, walking in the middle of my hometown Jayala in the fuel lineups. As you can see, I got fuel lineups on both sides here, as you can see there. And today we're going to talk about part 3 in things I wish I knew about Sri Lanka, or things that are different about Sri Lanka that I wish I knew about before I came. These aren't really tips or tricks. These are just, this part 3 is going to be about things that are just interestingly different. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that. And before I do, again, I do really wish to thank everyone who's watching, liking, smashing that like button, that subscribe button, and especially those of you who are taking the time to watch one of the commercials, because that really helps build my brand so that I can, wow, look at how packed this bus is. It's actually 6:30 in the morning here. It's a Wednesday morning. So I just took a walk to go get some pastries. So that's why I'm walking out this early in the morning. So again, thank you everyone for doing everything you're doing to support the channel, especially those of you who are taking the time to comment. I really, really appreciate it. I'm taking everything to heart. Everyone who is the new members who are watching, liking, thank you. Please take a moment and watch one of the commercials. Click on the ads. That really helps the channel out. All right. So today, let's talk about life in Sri Lanka, part 3, things that are truly different than I'm used to from the West. So the first thing, today we're going to talk about predominantly language. Now, I've lived all over the world. I speak Canadian English, which is mirrored on British English, but it is different. But I do know the differences between British English and Canadian English or American English. For example, we all know boot. Boot is trunk of a car. Lift, which is the elevator. But there are words in Sri Lanka which I've never heard of that are colloquial English, because English in Sri Lanka is really old. So for example, they say for 100,000, okay, like if they say the number 100,000, they will say lakh, L-A-K. So 1 lakh is 100,000. So that's something you need to get used to. And then there's another number for 1 million. I can't remember what they say. Like so instead of saying 1 million, they'll say 1 whatever it is. The other thing is that measurements of area. So the measurements of area, so like for example an acre or something like that, what they'll say is they'll say perch. So for example, my parents' house is 10 perch. I don't know the conversion, but that's what they normally say for when it comes to size. The other thing, okay, so this is a fuel shed, not a gas station. And like I said before, gas is not gas. It's called petrol. So they call this a fuel shed. The trucks and they call it petrol. They don't call it gas. Gas is cooking gas, liquid petroleum gas, LPG. So when you say gas, do you have gas? They're like confused when you point to the car and say, do you have gas? And this is a petrol shed. So the truck that delivers the fuel is called a bowser. No idea why. Never heard of it before. And when I heard the word the first time, I was very, very confused. It's called a fuel bowser. So that covers off the language part of what I'm talking about today. So what I want to continue talking about is some of the things that I found uniquely interesting. So, for example, you got to walk on the left because it is a left-hand drive. If you notice right behind me, everyone's driving on the left. You have to walk on the left. I'm used to walking on the right-hand side of the road. or you got to walk on the left-hand side of the road. But because of there's no sidewalks or anything here, I tend to walk into oncoming traffic so that I can actually see the cars that are going to hit me. So got to be a little bit careful about that. One of the things that would probably annoy Westerners is the bureaucracy. The bureaucracy here is insane. If you watch one of my videos from a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, getting my driver's license, wow. I am going, today's Wednesday, on Thursday, tomorrow, I'm going on for the third time to try to get my driver's license. And it's because, like in any country, a bureaucrat does not have the power. And they're paid very well, but there's no productivity requirement as far as I can see, because it's just all bureaucracy. It's all just one thing after another after another. And they just will pass you on to the next person. So for example, here's an example. I went to go buy computer parts, and I'm in a store, and you can see everything. Little doggy, cute dog. So I'm in a store, it's L-shaped or U-shaped. So on one side I got the guy who helps me and gets me my computer part, and he will write up the receipt on an old book and then write it in the receipt book. Then he will take the product, I have to take the receipt to the cashier on the other side. The cashier then takes my money, payment, signs the receipt, gives it back to me. I take it and I hand it to the salesman. The salesman takes the receipt and my item to a third person. That person now checks the receipt, signs it, keeps a copy, checks it against the item that is in the box, and then packages it for me and gives it to me. So it's check and counter check, which is very inefficient, but I guess because it's an analog system that they have to have that for, obviously theft or, whatever. But it's very slow. If you're in a hurry, forget about it. Now, one of the uniquely cute things about Sri Lankans is that they talk very, very quietly. Well, no, I mean, if you watch the news, they scream and yell when they're angry. But when I'm dealing with customer service, I can barely hear them because they talk so quietly. I have to constantly ask them, what are they saying? What are they saying? And the smiles. They're always smiling. Now, it could be because they are embarrassed or shy or what have you. What a beautiful sunrise. Let's take a look at the sunrise. Hold on. That is just a beautiful sunrise. Kamu ada? Hyundai? Mukada? Me YouTube. Mukada? Mang singlet chutak tere na. Mandala. News app now pa jema me Podimali me my friends are watching. Mang Canada minister. Very friendly people, just asking what I was doing it for, whether I was news or not. But anyway, that sunrise, I mean, even with everything that's going on right now, I'm still okay. Now, that's not to say that there's no problems here. Please, don't think that I'm minimizing what's going on. The man I just talked to, he's pulling leaves from a tree so that he can feed himself. Like this guy over here, he's doing the same thing. This is not his tree. He's just coming along and he's picking flowers so that he can eat them. Okay, that's not right. The poor people are going to suffer the most. And I am so saddened by what's going on, which is why I go and I buy my food and the things I need to survive from the local market. I don't go to the I do go to the supermarket to get the things I need, but most of the time the fruits and vegetables, I'll go to the local market, the farmer's market. You saw my video from last week where I went to the fish market. I spent 30 minutes, a half a tank of gas to go to the fish market. And I bought a huge ton of fish. Like I said, must have spent 50 bucks on that. But anyway, I'm not minimizing what is going on, but I'm also not going to apologize for the situation that I am in. I am benefiting from the fact that I'm a foreigner. So I'm sorry it's happening. I wish I could change it. I can't. I can only do my little part, right? So yeah, the fun things that are different about Sri Lanka compared to how I lived in Korea or North America. The language, the style, the different ways of things happening is really uniquely cute. So these aren't things that you have to remember. These are just things that I find different, that I find cute, that I find unique. I hope you enjoyed it. Please stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. Sri Lanka Sammy, I'm out.